This has got to be right up there. His fourth touchdown run of the game and another long one to boot.
And I don't need to ask for a witness because you're right here with me. We are watching this, and we're watching such a performance that it's demoralizing for anyone on defense. You know, it starts out coaches screaming, tackle it, get it. And after that last touchdown, I bet it's pure silence on that side of the ball.
No good.
So the defense gets the stop. I know it's situation to situation, but who has more pressure there, offense or defense, when they go for two?
I truly believe it's the defense has more pressure because the offense has an entire playbook wide open from the 2-yard line. You can run it, you can throw it. So defensively, I think most teams are going to be aggressive and force the issue and try and bring pressure.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard.
Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
Shotgun now for Brady. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Evans. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Throwing again on second down. Brady. Underneath, he's got Brate. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
Third down.
Underneath, he's got Brate. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC divisional round matchup. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, this is the second of 4 games this weekend as we narrow the field down to the 4 teams who will meet in the league championship games next Sunday. We'll get back out to you guys in just a moment. But first, let's take a look ahead to tomorrow's other divisional round game in the NFC. And it looks like we've got a good one in store, as it's going to be the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, in our game, we're set up for a terrific second half. So to find out who will advance to the NFC title game, let's send it back out to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway from the 6. And they'll get him down inside the...
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That one a gain of 12.
I know a lot of coaches like the toss play because they think it can be a real momentum shifter. Get the ball to that back who can get to the corner and turn it upfield. And on this play, that's exactly what they got, including a first down.
And this is caught at the 8. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Flushed out right. And the Eagles are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. It's their quarterback, saving his best for the playoffs with his third touchdown of the game. And this offense is running away with this one.
So, my man, another touchdown. They're looking like the #1 seed that they earned throughout the year. Looking pretty dominant right now.
We knew the road to the Super Bowl would run right through this stadium. Somebody's going to have to come in here and beat these guys. Good luck. I don't think it's happening this weekend.
No, definitely not this weekend. And for anyone else out there, bring your game.
Buyer beware. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit,
Jake Elliott
but going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this one. No, okay.
At their own 20.
Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. And oh my goodness, he loses it again. And the Eagles have recovered.
Jones, the ball carrier.
Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think that you take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
Offense set to begin their next possession. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, man, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it. Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a lot of the backfield out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the third quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if we can drive the bus here again on this drive. 22 yards there, a first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Deshaun Jackson, 41 yards. And the Eagles continue to roll.
And remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
Had 3 touchdown passes. You doing anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
Doug Peterson says, let's go for 2 here. Now a toss going left. And boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more.
I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on, but apparently they've got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Back now comes Tampa Bay. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm?
And I think the ball's out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. If the ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover.
And now a fumble. Brady loses the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles.
Bring it!
And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. A great play there by the defense. If these guys are going to advance, and it looks like they will, this defense a big reason why.
And they love carrying the mantle for this team, don't they? You see the way that they move around out there? They want to lead this team deeper into the playoffs and hopefully onto the Super Bowl.
And that return for a touchdown certainly helps that cause. They had the big play on the fumble return. They were looking for the 1-2 punch, but they couldn't get that 2-point conversion.
And I have to wonder, were they scheduled to go ahead and kick the extra point, but after a play like that, you talk about the 1-2 punch, right? It's a momentum play. Go for 2 and really try to capitalize, and that's what they attempted.
25-yard line.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them, the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted.
How you like me now?
Picked off by Nate Gehring. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is shoving onto the field as they'll go for 2, pushing through the contact. And they are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball.